Hi, this is Phil from Projector Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about Sony's VW325ES home theater projector. The VW325ES is a 4K SXRD home theater projector, and it is the successor of the highly rated VW295, which we reviewed a few years ago. The VW295 was actually one of our favorite projectors because it offered outstanding picture quality that very few models in its price range could match. I was such a big fan of the VW295ES, it was one of my #1 recommendations for anyone whose budget for a projector was around $5,000. I like the projector so much that even if your budget was less than $5,000, I would still try to convince you to spend a little bit more because the difference in performance was worth every penny. The VW325ES, like all other Sony 4K home theater projectors, utilize 3 native 4K SXRD panels to deliver true 4K resolution. We're talking 4096 by 2160. No pixel shifting required. Not only is the VW325ES the least expensive 4K model in Sony's home theater lineup, it is also the least expensive native 4K home theater projector on the market, period. The new VW325 retails for $54.99 US, which is about $500 more than the outgoing VW295. If you took a quick glance at the spec sheets of the new model versus the older model, it would be easy to overlook a major performance update. The main difference between these two models is the video processing. While the rated brightness, contrast, and color gamut of the VW295ES and the VW395ES are nearly identical, the VW325ES delivers a noticeably better picture than the unit it replaces. The main reason why the VW325ES looks better than the older unit is that the new model is equipped with a version of Sony's X1 processor that has been optimized specifically for projector applications. Whether you're watching broadcast TV or your favorite movie, the X1 processor improves the picture quality of the VW325ES. But one of the most notable features added this year is called Dynamic HDR Enhancer, which dramatically improves the look of HDR content. No projector can reproduce all of the brightness information found in HDR content, so they utilize tone mapping to try to get the most out of their limited capabilities. Thanks to the Dynamic HDR Enhancer, the VW325ES can analyze HDR content scene by scene for more precise tone mapping. HDR analysis and tone mapping might be a new concept for a lot of projector manufacturers, but this feature has been included in Sony X1 processor equipped TVs for well over 5 years. Due to the better tone mapping provided by the X1 processor, HDR scenes are brighter, with richer colors, and you also get better perceived black level and contrast. While this processor is not actually increasing the brightness capability of the projector or its black level, it's just utilizing the projector's capabilities better when displaying HDR content. I had the opportunity to do side-by-side comparisons between the VW295ES and the new VW325ES, and whether I was watching SDR or HDR content, the difference was dramatic. In fact, I found myself checking both units' video settings multiple times because the difference in the picture between the two models was so noticeable. Basically, the X1 processor does an excellent job extracting every ounce of performance from the quality components found in the 325ES. The VW325ES, like all Sony 4K home theater projectors, delivered outstanding picture quality right out of the box. The VW325ES includes many of the great features found in all Sony 4K home theater projectors, including motorized focus and zoom, as well as plenty of horizontal and vertical lens shift. Having a large amount of zoom and lens shift makes installation a breeze, especially when you're trying to replace an older unit that had been previously fixed mounted. The VW325 is a great unit, but as you move up the lineup, you start to get additional features. to further improve image quality, maximize reliability, and simplify installation and operation. It's almost like buying a base high-performance sports car versus a fully loaded model. At a glance, the VW325ES looks nearly identical to its predecessor as well as this year's step-up model, which is called the VW715ES. You will notice that the chassis of a Sony 4K home theater projector tends to be a little larger than many other manufacturers' home theater models. This is because of the room that is needed for its 3-chip native 4K SXRD imaging system, as well as its high-quality motorized lens assembly, and lastly, larger, slower-moving fans, which result in quieter operation. The VW325ES has a rated brightness of 1500 lumens, and the unit's lamp has a rated life of 6,000 hours in low power mode. While 1500 lumens may not seem like a lot compared to many of its DLP-based competitors, the VW325 can deliver most of its rated brightness even in its most accurate picture modes. By comparison, most DLP home theater projectors can barely deliver half of their specified brightness in their more accurate movie and cinema modes. Even after calibration, we still measured over 1300 lumens. When you combine that brightness with great black levels, images really pop in a darkened room. While many home theater projectors claim crazy high dynamic contrast numbers, most cannot match the native contrast of an SXRD projector like a VW325ES. The VW325ES does not have a dynamic iris, which is found on Sony step-up models. But this feature won't be missed if the projector is used in a family room or media space or any space with some ambient light, because you probably wouldn't be able to take advantage of the ultra deep black levels anyway. And remember, even without a dynamic iris, because the Sony VW325 uses SXRD panels, the native contrast and black levels are better than most DLP-based home theater projectors on the market. If you have a budget of $5,500, there's lots of great home theater projectors you can choose from. You could easily buy a more feature-laden 4K DLP laser projector and pay thousands less. If you cruise around our site, you will find a number of glowing reviews for cheaper, high-performing DLP projectors. So you may be wondering why a lamp-based Sony 4K SXRD projector like a VW325ES commands such a premium price. The 3-chip native 4K SXRD imaging system used in Sony home theater projectors is far superior to the single-chip DLP devices found in most home theater competitors. I have yet to find a single-chip consumer 4K DLP projector that could come close to the color fidelity, the native contrast, and the black levels of a good LCOS-based projector, like a Sony VW325 or maybe something like a JVC D-Island projector. With the VW325ES, you're going to get better black levels, higher native contrast, and native 4K resolution, which are benefits of an LCOS projector. But you're going to have to be willing to give up some of the extra features like a laser light source and built-in smart features. And to me, I believe it's worth it. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of benefits to using a laser light source in a projector, including long life and maintenance-free operation. But a bulb is still an excellent light source. Most laser home theater projectors still utilize a single blue laser diode array that provides blue light and excites a yellow phosphor color wheel. Filters are then used to break up the yellow into red and green elements. This is difficult to do properly and could be quite costly. This is why premium LCOS projectors from brands such as Sony and JVC still utilize bulbs in their models that retail for less than $10,000. If you're after color accuracy, a bulb is still the least expensive option to deliver quality light. And the manufacturers can reallocate the cost that would have been spent on a laser light source to other components that improve the picture quality, such as the imager, the lens, and the video processor. Since we're talking about components, let's talk a little bit about the lens. All Sony 4K home theater projectors, including the VW325ES, utilize high-quality multi-element lens systems, which are superior to many of the competitors' optical solutions. And remember, they offer motorized zoom and focus as well as horizontal and vertical lens shift. So a VW325ES does command a premium over many home theater projectors. But if you have the budget to step up from a DLP projector to a 4K LCOS projector like a Sony 4K SXRD unit, you should absolutely do it. While the VW325ES does command a premium price over most DLP-based home theater projectors, its outstanding SDR and HDR picture quality, great black levels, accurate color reproduction, and a custom integration-based feature set makes it a great option for any movie enthusiast. To learn more about the VW325ES, check out our detailed article on projectorreviews.com. Take care.